Thanks so much. All right.
Tight.
Describe your relationships with the seniors.
Okay. So, I don't know how to start this. So Ange and Bethany are two of the seniors that I'm closest to because they're my rack mates. Um, they're, we're very close. We're very close. We're closer than I thought we'd be this year. I thought that we were just gonna live with each other and it wasn't gonna be much of it just because we haven't really interacted at all before this year. I'd interacted with Bethany a few times and I'd never spoken to, but we got close and it was surprising. It was a pleasant surprise. I didn't know how much fun it would be to live with them, and I didn't know how much they would mean to me, at least on the team. It was honestly a surprise.
Do you have any specific stories about them?
So I do actually. So I have one story with Ange when we were coming back from a extracurricular activity, and I was not feeling well, and Ange took good care of me, even though she didn't have to. She didn't. She had no obligation to, and she still took care of me, and made sure I was okay. And with Bethany, I have a great memory where I was supposed to be squatting 120 and 140 was loaded on the other side and 120 was loaded on the other side, and Bethany watched me get under the bar and attempt to squat and chose to do nothing about it.
That's crazy.
It did not make it out of the rack. It did not make it out of the rack. But those are just a few of, like, the instances with Ange and Bethany, and both experiences were great, were fun. Bethany's not so much, but afterwards we had a good laugh about it, and it was really nice. It was funny.
How did they impact your time on the team?
That's a good question. So, again, we had not interacted at all, like, previously, and they made me realize that, like, even somebody that I like had hadn't no interaction with or no previous history with, they made me realize that, like, when you see each other day to day, day by day, and y'all have these experiences with each other, and y'all just y'all sweat together, y'all work hard together, all this kind of stuff. It made me realize that, like, y'all can get pretty close with people, and you can kind of learn things time by time, over time, and y'all can really build connections when you didn't think that it was possible.
What have you learned from them?
So Ange taught me that sometimes you just need to toughen up. Sometimes, when you're whining, or when you don't want to do something, or something's not feeling good, you're under the weight and it doesn't feel good, or stuff's not moving the way you want to that day, or and you're just having a bad day or whatever. And there'd be some days where I would be like that. I'd be whining. I'd be like, oh, I don't want to do this. It's not feeling good. Yada yada. Andrew would be like, yo, Alex, just, like, shut up and just lift. She would kind of tell me, Alex, toughen up. It's moving fine. Stop being so picky and stop being, a little baby, and just kind of, wake up. Bethany didn't teach me anything.
Oh my god. I'm putting that in.
No. Bethany taught me not to take things so seriously sometimes. You wouldn't think about it looking at her. She seems very like a very serious person, but when you talk to her, she doesn't take things so as seriously as you might think. She's very laid back. I mean, she can lock in when she needs to, and she can focus up on stuff. But she talking with her, in between lifts and things like that, it's really nice to see that she doesn't take things as seriously as people might think. And at the end of the day, we're all here to have fun.
Do you have anything to say about Kate?
Oh yeah, I've got a Oh, I have a good amount to say about it. Not too much.
Okay.
Yeah, we could be here all day. No, Kate is a phenomenal coach. Kate, I mean, if there,
Oh, go ahead.
you good, bro?
Bye.
Kate's a phenomenal coach. If there's anybody who knows more about collegiate powerlifting, or equipped powerlifting in, the immediate area, it's Kate. I mean, Kate can, deal with your shit. She can tell you to wake up when you need to wake up. She can tell you to be cool on yourself when you need to, take a step back and be okay with, what you're doing. She can tell you to, she can tell you to wake up. She can tell you to lock in, and she has a fire that like you can see in her eyes, and she really wants the best for every single one of her clients, and it's really nice to see. She'll always, you can always go up and talk to her about something if something's feeling off, and she'll always have an answer for you. She'll always, tell you what you need to do, and if you listen to her, she'll take you places. I've only been coached by Kate for, I want to say, around 4 or 5 months, but in that time, she's really kind of helped me dial in and realize, what I need to do in order to achieve my goals. And overall, she's just perfect for keeping you accountable and telling you what you need to do.
Okay. That's good. You got anything else?
Do a flip.
Okay, that's fine.
That's it. Yeah.